Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. We all know that Drag Race can catapult the queens into fame, and many queens have had very successful careers because of the show. But it can be difficult to maintain a career in drag, and many queens eventually decide to move on. So today we're going to go through a compilation of 32 queens from RuPaul's Drag Race who have either quit drag or taken some kind of extended break. Please note that because some of these videos are from a few years ago, the information was likely correct at the time but may have changed since then, so please bear that in mind. Also, I'm so close to reaching 120,000 subscribers, and I know how much you love to watch these compilation videos, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel to help me get to 120k. And please also make sure you like and comment on this video because it really helps boost this video in the algorithm. Thank you very much and enjoy. Princess Poppy. Poppy appeared on season 15 of Drag Race US. There have been a lot of questions circulating on the internet about whether Poppy has quit drag because she has not posted on her Instagram since June of 2022. And on her Twitter, however, she posted a bit more recently in January of 2023 and appeared to say that she thought that she looked, quote, busted on Drag Race and that she would have eliminated herself. And Poppy had apparently previously said that she would prefer to do more behind the scenes work, such as being involved in production rather than being on camera. And she also said at a Roscoe's viewing party that she didn't enjoy the filming process for season 15 and that's why she would never go back for an All Stars. The other reason Poppy may be taking a break from social media is following the backlash that she got after a comment that she made at the same Roscoe's viewing party. I did talk about this in more length in my Roscoe's recap, which I'll link to in the description, but Poppy said at Roscoe's that she had COVID right before Drag Race, and so she read online that if you shove chapstick up your nose, it stops the test from showing up as positive, which is what she tried to do. However, Poppy later clarified that she was already negative for COVID, but her test was still showing positive, and the story that she told about the chapstick was not meant to be taken seriously. But either way, that may perhaps be the reason why she has not been on social media for a while, and she may have potentially quit drag. We'll have to wait and see. Cameron Michaels. Cameron Michaels competed on season 10 of Drag Race US and also appeared on the RuPaul's Drag Race Vegas Review spin-off documentary. There has been some speculation for a while that Cameron has quit drag as they've removed all photos of them in drag from their Instagram. And apparently Cameron had previously said on an Instagram live that they were going to take some time away from drag until they felt ready to come back. And although it's not been confirmed, some people have speculated that one of the factors may have been because Cameron's ex-boyfriend, Andre, who appeared on the Vegas Review show, tragically passed away last year. Cameron did appear out of drag, however, in a recent workout video for MTV's The Challenge. So we'll have to wait and see if Cameron has quit drag for good, or perhaps they will return to drag in the future. Aja. Aja competed on season 9 of Drag Race US as well as All Stars 3. Aja came out as trans in September of 2021, and it appears that since then she does not consider herself to be a drag performer anymore. In a lengthy Twitter post from August of 2022, Aja said that she's had a lot of questions about whether she has quit drag, and the short answer is that she no longer does drag. Aja explained that she is non-binary and trans-feminine and is still very ambivalent about her gender journey. Aja went on to explain that although drag was a beautiful thing in her life, it led to her being misgendered a lot, and so she stopped doing drag because people weren't seeing her as a woman or trans because of it, which was hurting her. And Aja made the point that lots of trans people do drag, but she wants to focus on her gender journey, which is why she no longer considers herself to be a drag queen. Alyssa Summers. Alyssa Summers, whose real name is Alex Hernandez, competed on season 4 and placed 13th. It appears as though Alyssa has quit drag because she hasn't posted on social media since 2015, and the things that she has posted have been out of drag, so it is assumed that she has retired from drag. However, in 2019, Alyssa created a Twitter profile and seemed to be doing shows at the Honey Pot Bar in Florida. But as of today, the honeypot appears to be permanently closed, and Alyssa's Twitter hasn't posted anything since January 2021, so it doesn't seem very clear whether she is still doing drag or not. Kenya Michaels. Kenya Michaels, whose real name is Kenya Oliveira Bonilla, competed on season 4 and placed 5th. Since appearing on the show, Kenya has come out as transgender woman and no longer works as a drag queen. Kenya's last gig was actually at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, which in 2016 had a terrorist shooting incident which tragically claimed the lives of 49 people, and Kenya was there that night. Luckily, Kenya survived the shooting and appears to be doing well. Since then, she's focused on a career as a fashion designer in Puerto Rico and has even launched her own clothing line. Carmen Carrera. Carmen Carrera competed on season 3 and placed 5th. After appearing on Drag Race in 2011, Carmen appeared in an ABC News programme called Primetime What Would You Do in 2012, where she portrayed a transgendered woman. This was the first time Carmen publicly revealed that she was transgender. Carmen has since appeared on many different TV shows and has had a successful career as an actress, model, and burlesque performer. Carmen has previously said that she won't return to being a drag queen because of the stigma that transgender people have had in the drag world, and she's also criticised RuPaul and Drag Race over transphobic language. Milan. Milan, whose real name is Dwayne Cooper, competed on season 4 and placed 9th. Milan appears to have quit drag and is now focusing on a career in acting. However, Milan occasionally posts photos in drag on Instagram. In an Instagram post from November 2021, Milan said, quote, "I do miss doing drag and I do believe there will be another heightened chapter for me in some creative way. It's been fun and will resurface again, but for now it's back to untucked capitalism." Ivy Winters. Ivy Winters, whose real name is Dustin Winters, appeared on season 5 and placed 7th. Ivy is a talented seamstress and has previously designed costumes for people such as Lady Bunny and Manila Luzon. In August 2020, Ivy said in an Instagram post that she had stopped doing drag and that she was spending her time on doing different things. The last time Ivy posted a photo in drag was in October 2019. However, Ivy has said that she would start doing drag again when she felt ready. Vivian Pinay. Vivian Pinay, whose real name is Michael Donahue, appeared on season 5 and placed joint 10th/11th. After season 5, Vivian worked as a personal assistant for Alyssa Edwards and can be seen in the web show Alyssa's Secret, doing Alyssa's hair and makeup. Vivian no longer does drag, but now runs a successful wig business called Fairy Tale Wigs, which mainly offers wigs for cosplay such as Disney princesses. Soju. Soju, whose real name is Tony Hyun-soo Ha, competed on season 11 and placed 15th. In January 2021, Soju/Tony was accused of sexual assault by several different people. At the time, Tony denied the allegations and said in a statement that the claims had come from people who had threatened and attempted to extort him, and that he was going to seek legal representation to defend himself. His Instagram was made private, meaning you can't comment on any of the posts, and he continued to post, but mainly out of drag. However, in March 2021, Tony seemingly admitted to the allegations and announced that he would be quitting drag via a statement on Instagram. The statement said, quote, "Just a quick update to the people that are concerned about me. I have been diagnosed and I'm getting professional help. Please don't worry. To be honest, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but for my mental health, I won't be returning as Soju." Magnolia Crawford. Magnolia Crawford, whose real name is Reynolds Engelhardt, competed on season 6 and placed 13th. While on the show, Magnolia stated during Untucked that she only came on RuPaul's Drag Race for exposure, and this meant that she didn't necessarily come off that well during her run on the show. Magnolia quit drag not long after the show, sometime in 2014, and no longer posts in drag on social media. Instead, she seems to post altered photos of celebrities, including other Drag Race queens. In July 2014, in a YouTube video, Magnolia/Reynolds watched the lip sync for the first time and was visibly cringing, admitting that he knew he was going to be eliminated because his outfit was, quote, really ugly. Fred Van Leer. Fred Van Leer has been the host of Drag Race Holland since it started in 2020. Although Fred appears in full drag on the actual show, he's actually been retired from being a drag queen for quite some time. He previously worked as a drag queen in Rotterdam for about 15 years, and then he was a judge on Holland's Next Top Model, and he also worked on several other TV shows such as the Dutch version of The X Factor. And just as some extra bonus tea, for season 1 of Drag Race, Fred's makeup was actually done by the Countess, who later appeared as a contestant on season 2. And then season 1 winner Envy Peru took over and did Fred's makeup for season 2. LaShawn Beyond. LaShawn appeared on season 4 and placed 12th. LaShawn is perhaps best known for coming up with the iconic line of "This is not RuPaul's best friend race." Since the show, LaShawn has transitioned and is now a trans woman and appears to have quit drag. However, since then she appears to have deactivated her social media and has left the public eye. As some bonus tea, LaShawn is a talented designer and actually designed Latrice Royale's entrance look for All Stars 4. Fifi O'Hara/Jeremy. Fifi O'Hara, whose real name is Jeremy Carey and now goes by the name Jeremy, competed on season 4 and All Stars 2, placing runner-up and 7th respectively. Jeremy announced in May 2020 that he would continue to do drag under his real name, and especially cosplay such as Harry Potter and other topics. Jeremy explained in several interviews that Fifi was just a character that he was playing at the time when he was on Drag Race, and he's now retiring that character. In a May 2020 Twitter post, Jeremy explained that, quote, "When my hobby became a job, it kind of killed it for me. I don't plan on stopping drag. I will continue to and only attend large tours or conventions in drag, which will be announced when those are scheduled. But as far as performing at bars, brunches or events of similar caliber, I will be stopping altogether soon." Jeremy has also criticised RuPaul and Drag Race on many occasions, such as calling RuPaul a, quote, fraud, and that she doesn't care about the contestants unless they're making her money. Check out my video, RuPaul's Drag Race Queens Who've Called Out RuPaul, for more information on this. Honey Mahogany. Honey Mahogany appeared on season 5 and placed joint 10th/11th along with Vivian Panay. Since being on the show, Honey has come out as gender non-conforming and has been involved in politics, for example being the first transgender person to serve on the San Francisco Democratic County Central Committee. Although Honey appears to still be involved in the drag-related world, it appears that she is now focusing more on activism and is no longer a full-time drag queen performer. Rebecca Glasscock. Rebecca Glasscock, whose real name is Javier Rivera, appeared on season 1 and placed 3rd. Rebecca/Javier appeared to quit drag and didn't post any drag-related content for quite some time and appears to go more by the name Javier than Rebecca. In 2021, Javier was actually voted Mr. Stonewall. However, back in 2018, Javier hinted that he may be restarting drag and then subsequently appeared in drag as Rebecca in the season 10 finale, but it doesn't appear that he's posted any drag content since then. Javier won the Mr. Noche Latina pageant in 2022, although this was out of drag. Robbie Turner. Robbie Turner, whose real name is Jeremy Baird, competed on season 8 and placed 7th. I've talked about this in my previous videos, but in 2018, Robbie tweeted saying that she had been involved in a fatal car crash and that the driver of the Uber she was riding in had died. However, police then said that no fatal car crashes had been reported in that area on the day in question, which then started to arise some suspicions about Robbie's story. Robbie later admitted that the crash actually didn't happen, and she thinks that perhaps someone slipped something into her drink the night before and she had fallen in the shower and hit her head, but it's not quite clear what the real reason is. After the incident, several Drag Race queens commented negatively on the situation on social media, and it's been assumed that Robbie has quit doing drag because she hasn't posted anything on social media since April 2018 and appears to be seeking help for her mental health, which I hope she gets. Monica Beverly Hills. Monica Beverly Hills appeared on season 5 and placed 12th. Monica was actually the first contestant to reveal that she was trans during the filming of the show. She appears to have stopped considering herself as a drag queen and now lives as a trans woman. Monica has actually criticised RuPaul for his stance around trans contestants being on the show in the past. In an article in March 2018, Monica said, quote, "When I read RuPaul's comments, unfortunately, I wasn't surprised. Let's be real, once I came out as trans, they milked that moment and then I didn't stick around much longer." Since then, it appears that Monica has distanced herself from RuPaul and the show, and for example, on her Instagram, unlike several other former contestants, she doesn't even mention in her Instagram bio that she has appeared on the show. Stacey Lane Matthews. Stacey Lane Matthews competed on season 3 of Drag Race US in 2011. Stacey became a popular contestant from the show, and her catchphrase of "Henny" has been used multiple times on Drag Race since her season. Although Stacey has so far never returned for an All-Star season, she did appear several times as a guest on All-Stars 4 in several of the challenges. And Stacey later revealed that she was supposed to be cast as a contestant on All Stars 4, but the producers called her up at the last minute and told her that she was cancelled. Stacey also once said on Twitter that she would never return for All Stars because of something someone said to her on the set of All Stars. Since Stacey's time on the show, she has continued to perform in drag and has been involved in several projects, such as an adult pantomime in the UK in 2020, which also involved Drag Race UK contestants Davina De Campo and Cheryl Hole. Stacey also came out as trans after her time on Drag Race, and in 2020, she tweeted saying that she hadn't fully transitioned yet and, quote, "Rome wasn't built in a day." In more recent years, Stacey has unfortunately encountered some health issues as well as some financial issues. And she has posted several times on her social media saying that she was homeless and living in a hotel and asked for donations to help pay for her accommodation and her medical bills. In January 2021, Stacey said in an Instagram post that she was thinking about retiring from drag, but she seemed to continue to do drag for some time afterwards. However, in November of this year, Stacey posted a lengthy statement on Instagram announcing that she was definitely quitting drag. In the post, Stacey said, quote, "My last show was my last show. I've disappointed too many people." Stacey went on to say that she put a smile on, but she let her physical and mental health get out of hand and she takes responsibility for that. but she, quote, let negativity destroy what little joy I had left. But Stacey said that she feels that stepping away from social media will help her get better, and she thanked all of her fans for their support, and she said that she may return one day if there is something to return to. And she ended the post by saying, quote, Stacey Lane Matthews out. And so for now, it looks like Stacey has quit drag as well as social media to focus on her mental health. And I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that I hope Stacey gets the help and rest that she needs, and maybe we'll see her back in drag again one day in the future. Max. Max competed on season 7 of Drag Race US in 2015. Max was quite a popular contestant after her time on the show, with many people thinking that Max should have gone further in the competition than she did. Max is also one of the queens who has been highly requested for an All-Stars season, but has yet to appear in one. However, in 2018, Max tweeted saying that she would not be on All-Stars because she's never been called, and she wouldn't want to be around, quote, untrustworthy people. And this animosity towards Drag Race may be due to the shady editing that she revealed from her season. I did talk about this more in a previous video, so if you want to know the full story, check out that video and I'll put a link in the description. Max continued to perform in drag for several years after her time on Drag Race, but she stopped posting new photos of herself in drag on her social media and has since gone very quiet on social media, posting very infrequently. And Max has therefore become somewhat of a mystery. Back in 2021, Max's fellow season 7 sister, Kennedy Davenport, tweeted saying that she was glad to hear from Max and she was going to DM her. And Mrs. Kasha Davis, who was also from season 7 with Max, also said during an interview with Hey Queen in 2020 that she was trying to, quote, get Max out of the closet and wants to see Max get back on the scene because she's so creative. Max did then seem to come back in drag in 2021, and she performed at a UK nightclub in Birmingham called Mother's Meeting. However, since then, Max doesn't seem to have posted any new drag content on her social media, and the last post of her in drag was from 2018. And she has since posted other photos of herself in drag, but in the hashtags it said that these were older photos from about 2014 onwards. And Max also doesn't seem to have done any recent shows or events. And this has led many people to believe that Max may have quit drag. However, Max has not officially confirmed this, so we'll have to wait and see if she ever performs again in drag or posts any updates on her social media. Coppertop. Coppertop competed on season 4 of Drag Race UK in 2022. Copper was a relatively early out on her season, and many people felt that her elimination was unfair and that she was eliminated because she was too quiet on the show. Copper herself once said during an interview with Attitude magazine that she refused to vote for people in the shady NAFTA Awards in episode 3 because if someone got that award, it could send them to a, quote, dark, dark place. But she said that that decision, quote, backfired. And Copper then won the NAFTA award for Best Background Actress in a Non-Speaking Role because she was very quiet, and then she was eliminated the same episode. But despite her early elimination, Copper continued performing in drag and was involved in the UK Season 4 tour, DragCon UK, as well as many other projects, including being cast as Glinda in the Christmas Wizard of Oz pantomime show in 2023. However, in October 2023, Copper posted on her social media saying that she was taking a break from drag. Copper said that the last 2 years were, quote, the hardest I've ever experienced, and the truth is that I'm not okay. Copper said that she would be taking a break from drag and social media to focus on her mental health, but she would still be involved in the Wizard of Oz pantomime and DragCon UK 2024. But it appears that for the moment, Copper has quit drag, and let's hope that she gets the help that she needs, and we'll have to wait and see if she returns to drag in the future. Akasha. Akasha competed on season 1 of Drag Race US in 2009. I couldn't find a huge amount of information about Akasha online, but she appeared to continue doing drag after her time on Drag Race, and performed at Pride events and in clubs, mainly in Cleveland. But according to an article in Entertainment Weekly from 2023, Akasha stopped doing drag in 2017 when her home bar in Cleveland closed for good. However, Akasha came out of retirement in 2018 when she made an appearance at the finale for season 10 along with her fellow season 1 castmates. From what I could find, Akasha didn't have an Instagram account, but then created one in around 2018. However, it looks like the posts were then wiped, and now her account only goes back as far as February of this year, and most of the photos are previous photos of Akasha in drag. And I also couldn't find any evidence that Akasha has been doing any recent shows. And this has led people to wonder whether Akasha has quit drag, although Akasha doesn't seem to have publicly addressed this. Akasha has also previously said that she would be interested in coming back for an All-Stars season one day, so we'll have to wait and see if Akasha makes an official announcement about whether she has quit drag and if she would ever return to Drag Race in the future. Charity Case. Charity Case competed on season 3 of Drag Race UK in 2021. Charity became well known for her very creative outfits, which often blended traditional drag and also horror. Many people also felt that Charity was not treated very fairly on the show and that her unique style of drag was not appreciated. And another Drag Race YouTuber called Drag Detective did a whole video about Charity, which is really interesting, so if you want to go check that out, I'll put a link in the description. There was also some alleged backstage tea involving Charity that was talked about on Willem and Alaska's podcast Race Chaser, where apparently there was some tension between Charity and RuPaul on stage. According to Willem, during the episode 4 runway, which was the Spice Girls themed runway, RuPaul apparently told Charity that she wanted to see Charity in more glam drag and stop seeing Charity's quote, hairy ass and unshaven legs. And Charity allegedly said while walking off stage that her drag was good enough for Vogue, which is referring to Charity's appearance in Vogue magazine in 2018. And Willem said RuPaul must have heard what Charity said, and then RuPaul apparently confronted Charity when the queens came back to the main stage and said, quote, "So you think you're better than my show? You don't need this. Say it to my face, B." And then Charity was sent home the next episode. However, Charity doesn't appear to have ever confirmed whether this really happened or not. Anyway, after her time on the show, Charity has continued to post regular drag content on her social media, and she also attended DragCon UK in 2023. Charity was also involved in the Totally Drag event in May 2023 at Alton Towers, which is the UK's largest theme park. However, back in August of 2022, Charity posted a lengthy statement on social media saying that she would not be continuing to do drag in the long term. Charity said, quote, "I don't really want to still be doing drag in 5 or 10 years, and it was never her intention to commit to drag as a long-term career." Charity went on to say that she's starting a fine arts degree, and that's always been something she wants to focus on, and, quote, "In 10 years I hope to be a creative director for TV or film, curating art exhibitions, or designing characters or concept art for games and film." Charity ended by saying that she was taking, quote, "a baby step away from drag, but she's not totally dead and is still available for bookings on weekends and school holidays." Since then, Charity has continued to post regular content on Instagram, both in and out of drag, and she'll be taking part in a Christmas cabaret show called The Nightmares Before Christmas with her fellow Season 3 sister Anubis. And so we'll have to see if Charity does continue to do drag, and whether she does step away from drag at some point in the future. Cornbread. Cornbread the Snack Jeté competed on season 14 of Drag Race US in 2022 and left the competition suddenly after an ankle injury which happened during filming. Cornbread was a popular contestant on the show, and many people were sad when she had to leave the competition due to her injury, and Cornbread has been heavily requested for a future All-Stars season. In an interview on the red carpet at the season 14 finale, NBC News asked what was next for Cornbread. And it was then reported that Cornbread said that she was quitting drag because Cornbread had said that she was, quote, going to take myself a good little break and focus on her transition. And Cornbread also said, quote, I enjoy drag, but I don't think I'll be doing it for too much longer. I give myself a good 3 years, probably tops, because I want to focus 100% on transitioning and 100% on the career I've started, which is musical theatre and acting. However, shortly after the article came out, Cornbread was at Roscoe's for the season 14 finale, and she said that this article was, quote, clickbait, and they took what she said out of context. Cornbread clarified that she would not be quitting drag and said, quote, they just clickbait and did it completely wrong. I'm not quitting drag. Cornbread will always be part of me. Hello, look at me, B. But Demoria, which is Cornbread's name out of drag, wants a check now. I'm not quitting, I ain't going anywhere. Y'all are screwed for the rest of your life. But in the next 3 years, I'm going to slow down for sure. I'm still going to do drag, I'm just giving it a break. And so it looks like, similar to Charity Case, Cornbread has not quit drag, but she said that she intends to slow down her drag career and focus on other things, and she may potentially take a break from drag sometime in the future. And we'll have to wait and see what happens with this. LaLa Ri. LaLa Ri competed on the season 13 of Drag Race US and placed 10th. And then LaLa returned for All Stars 8, placing 5th. LaLa was a popular contestant on both of his seasons, and he won Miss Congeniality for season 13, and then he went on to win the title of Queen of the Fame Games in All Stars 8. However, LaLa recently announced that he would be quitting drag. In an article with Joey Nolfi of Entertainment Weekly, which came out earlier this month, LaLa announced that he would be quitting drag and talked about why he had come to this decision. The interviewer, Joey, mentioned that LaLa had been posting lots of photos out of drag recently, which is why some people suspected that something was up. And Joey asked if LaLa was quitting drag. And LaLa said, quote, yes, how can I put this? I'm removing myself from the drag character. I'm basically removing the drag essence. I feel like drag places us in a box as artists and entertainers, and sometimes in drag you're limited to what you can do artistically. I'd like to be considered a queer artist more than just a drag queen. I still plan to entertain, still do music, still do all the things I did when I was in drag, just without the drag. LaLa went on to say that he never intended on being a full-time drag queen, but he just sort of fell into it because he became so successful due to Drag Race. And he was happy to get on All Stars 8 and be on TV, but he didn't really want to be there doing drag, and at the time he was, quote, going through a depression stage at that time about doing drag. I was in drag, I was over it completely. He also said he feels like he has accomplished everything he wants to do in drag, and he felt like he was doing drag for everyone else but not for himself. Joey then asked LaLa how he wanted to be viewed as an artist, and LaLa said he doesn't want to be viewed as a drag queen music artist, but just as a music artist in general. He's going to continue making music, and he's also getting into acting. Joey then asked LaLa about his pronouns because his Instagram bio says he, him. LaLa says he uses he, him pronouns, and he never had an issue with people using he, him in drag, and he actually had a problem with people calling him she, her. He describes drag as a, quote, work uniform and a costume, and doesn't want it to define his gender identity. But he clarified that he's going to continue to use the stage name LaLa Ri. He also said another interesting thing, which was, when Joey asked if LaLa would ever return for a global All-Stars or a Versus the World, LaLa said, quote, it's so funny you say that. Last week I got a phone call and I turned it down. It was for quite a few things. I'm leaving it behind. I feel like it's pointless for me to do the show if I wasn't going to enjoy doing the drag portion. So it sounds like LaLa may have been called for some kind of All-Stars perhaps, but LaLa doesn't specify what exactly. And LaLa finished by saying he'd love to go back on the show, but just not in drag, and he added, quote, I'd also go back as a guest judge because they're bringing back some of the queens for the overseas seasons as guest judges. I'd love to judge out of drag. Lala also went into some more detail about his decision to quit drag, so make sure you check out the full article in Entertainment Weekly, and I'll link to it in the description. But by the sounds of it, Lala seems to be quitting drag for good and doesn't intend on returning to do drag at any point, so we'll have to wait and see how Lala's career progresses from here, and if we'll ever see him back on Drag Race in the future. Trixie Mattel. Trixie Mattel competed on season 7 of US and placed 6th, and she returned for All Stars 3 and was the winner of the season. Since her time on the show, Trixie has arguably become the most successful queen from Drag Race, and she has the most Instagram followers of any contestant. Trixie has also been involved in countless projects since Drag Race, including her and Katya's hit show on Wow Presents Plus, being a judge on Queen of the Universe, hosting The Pit Stop, launching a makeup company, starting a YouTube channel, as well as having her own show called Trixie Motel, among other projects. For a while, it seemed like Trixie was everywhere and was doing so many incredible things, and people wondered how Trixie had the time to do all of this, and whether she was going to burn out at some point. According to an article by Out.com, in May 2024, on the Zach Sang show, Trixie mentioned that she was interested in having more of a work-life balance and said that she would be going on a 3-month break, which was her first ever break. Then, in June, Trixie said during an interview with Elle that, quote, "I'm going on a 3 or 4 month sabbatical, July, August, September and October. I'm not even doing social media, so I'm going to be really gone for a while. I'm probably not going to come back at the full speed of Trixie anymore. The Trixie we know, the Trixie that is on every YouTube video, every show, on every TV show, I just can't sustain that anymore." Then, in July, Trixie posted a video on her YouTube channel called "I'm Taking a Break, Here's Why." In the video, Trixie said she's been working so much and, quote, "It is not so fierce to work yourself to death, it is not so fierce to work yourself into an autoimmune disorder." She explained that she started to feel like a Trixie impersonator and that she experienced a burnout, and she's so grateful for the opportunities that she's had so far, but no one who makes money off you will ever tell you that you need to take a break, so Trixie said she had to make that decision for herself. Trixie finished by saying that she was constantly feeling, quote, agitated, exhausted and sick for no reason. She also struggled to keep weight on and said that, quote, stress is not a joke. But she reassured fans that she will be returning after her break and that in the meantime, other guests would be doing takeovers on her YouTube channel, which included several Drag Race queens such as Nymphia Wind, Maddie Morphosis and Angeria, among several other people. But she never really gave an exact date of when she would be returning from her break. Trixie was then silent on social media and only posted a few times to promote the takeover guest spots on her YouTube channel, but her editor Nick was the one posting things. Trixie did post one thing in September, promoting her and Katya's show I Like to Watch because she said Nick was away. She also posted in September saying that she was taking a break from her break to film an episode of her podcast with Katya called The Bold and the Beautiful. But then on the 1st of October, Trixie tweeted saying, "Came back on social media to find out why Verizon is playing games with me," and people commented saying that Trixie was back. Then on the 11th of October, Trixie tweeted saying, "I've been off the internet for about 4 months, please show me memes and important internet items so I can react on YouTube." And lots of people shared viral memes at the time, such as the baby pygmy hippo called Moo Deng, which took the internet by storm earlier this year. Then, on the 22nd of October, Trixie posted a video on her YouTube channel called Trixie's Back, Let's Catch Her Up on the Internet, where she went through the different memes and things that she missed that people had suggested to her. Since then, Trixie has been posting consistently on social media, so it appears that she is back to working full-time. And according to her website, she also has tour dates from October until the 8th of December. And so it looks like Trixie took a break from drag to focus on her own health, and she is now back to doing drag full time. However, Trixie did say previously that when she came back, it would not be at the same level as before. So we'll have to wait and see what Trixie does now and how the break has changed her and her career. Ongina. Ongina competed on season 1 of Drag Race US and placed 5th. She then returned for All Stars 5 and placed 9th. Ongina was a popular contestant on her original season, and many people wondered when she would be coming back for an All Stars. Ongina confirmed during her appearance on the Very Delta podcast that she was asked to be on All Stars 1, but because of her out-of-drag day job was so busy, she didn't have time, so she turned down All Stars 1. There were also rumours that Ongina was shortlisted for other All-Stars seasons and didn't get on, but I'm not sure if this has ever been officially confirmed. But she did later get cast on All-Stars 5 in 2020. However, it looks like Ongina is now stepping away from drag, at least for the time being. In July 2024, Ongina posted on Instagram saying, "A new chapter, but I've been here before, something I left behind but always wanted more. This time I return to it with new goals, hoping it will bring me the happiness I yearn for. A new challenge, dare I say, but the freedom to create something new every day. I'm nervous, I'm excited, but most of all I feel lifted, excited to use the talents I was gifted. While I let Ongina take a breather, I know this new creative chapter will be better. As I look into my future, I'm certain, for now, this is the right move, but I hope you'll stick around as I dance to this new beat and find my groove." Ongina also posted an Instagram story saying, "Drag will always be part of me. It has done so much for my life and I'm not quitting. I'm just going to be taking a breather as I start a new role with my other career. You'll still find me performing places, I promise, but for now, excited to see where this new future leads." In addition to that, she also posted another Instagram story saying that this would be her last DragCon. Since then, Ongina has only really posted photos out of drag, and then also a few throwback images, including an old photo of her, Chanel and Nina Flowers with RuPaul, and the caption said, "Drag You Original Concept Drag Boot Camp." Since her post back in July, it doesn't look like Ongina has said anything about when she will be returning, but from her original post it sounded like this was more of a temporary break. But we'll have to wait and see if and when she returns to drag in the future. Venus Delight. Venus Delight competed on season 3 of Drag Race US and placed 13th. Venus is well known as a Madonna impersonator and is also a skilled impersonator of other celebrities as well, but Madonna was her most famous one, which she talked about on the show. Venus even appeared on the TV show My Strange Addiction in 2014, which was called Addicted to Being Madonna. According to some Reddit threads, Venus had apparently hinted that she was quitting drag on a few different occasions in the past, such as back in 2015 when she apparently uploaded a video to YouTube saying that she was quitting. Although the video is no longer available, so I don't know if that's true or not. And in the same Reddit thread, someone linked to a Facebook post which is also no longer available, but they seemingly quoted the Facebook post which apparently said, quote, "This year will be my last year of performing. I will be doing a farewell tour starting this spring." However, again, I can't see these posts, so I'm not sure if it's true or not. And so it seems like, according to other people, Venus may have taken a break from drag in the future, or at least hinted about it in the past. Well, recently, Venus again seemed to hint that she may be quitting drag due to something that she said on social media. In August 2024, Venus posted a slightly cryptic Instagram story that said, "Is it time to say goodbye? Did you ever appreciate me or my hard-earned endorsed impersonation? Your actions speak for themselves. I must do what is best for me and my passion that you once opened the door to. I hope you find peace like I have. Goodbye. P.S. You reap what you sow." And people were confused as to whether Venus's post was specifically about stopping impersonating Madonna in particular, or whether she was saying that she was going to quit drag in general. Then, in September, Venus posted on Instagram saying, "Definitely will be clearing the confusion this week, stay tuned." She then posted a video on Instagram where she said that she would be doing a special 1 hour long Instagram live video where she would not only be talking about whether she was quitting drag, but she would also be doing a show as well. She then posted a 1 hour long video in September where she performed several numbers in drag, and she specifically mentioned she was not going to be performing as Madonna. She also mentioned that she would be addressing later in the video whether she was quitting drag or not. I did go through the video to see whether Venus did address this, however I couldn't find any reference to this in the video. The video also seemed to end with Venus not being on camera, and there was about 10 minutes at the end of the video where there was just background music and nothing else, and then the video ended. So I'm not sure if perhaps the live got cut off, or whether the last part of the footage was cut off. But from what I can see, at least, Venus didn't seem to address whether she would actually be quitting drag. Venus then posted one more video later in September of her dancing. However, that was the last post that she's done, and she hasn't posted anything since then, which has been around 2 months at the time of recording this video, because the posts at the top of her profile are pinned posts from 2023. It is possible that Venus may have posted some updates in her Instagram stories which are no longer available and I might have missed them, so let me know in the comments if you have seen any updates that I haven't included. And so for the time being, it's not clear whether Venus has quit drag or maybe she is simply on a break, so we'll have to wait and see if there are any updates about this. Eve 6000. Eve 6000 competed on Canada's Drag Race Season 2 and placed 8th. Eve had many memorable moments on the show, such as her slightly disastrous performance in the Rusical, which became a meme afterwards. Back in February 2022, Eve announced that she was officially transitioning. In a post from her now deleted X profile, Eve said, "I am transitioning. This has really been a long time coming. I have finally accepted the fact that I need to physically transition in order to be myself, to be seen as and live my life as a woman." Eve also created a GoFundMe page to help fund her transition and also facial feminization surgery. After that, it seemed that Eve wasn't posting that much about drag, and some people assumed that she may have quit drag. This is especially because a year earlier in December 2021, Eve had tweeted saying, "I think I'm gonna quit drag in the next year. I had my shot and I don't think I'll ever get another chance to make a lucrative career out of it, so it's just going to continue being unfulfilling, and people will continue to disregard everything that I do because of how I was portrayed." Well, it looks like Eve has now officially confirmed that she is quitting drag. In a post on X in April 2024, Eve said, "I'm just going to say at this point that I've officially quit drag, at least as it relates to Drag Race. Drag will always be part of my life that led me to who I am, but Drag Race isn't something I would ever wish to personally be a part of again." She also followed this up by saying, "Not like it's big news to anyone, but yeah, I'm over it for many, many, many reasons. I'm flourishing in life more than I ever have since I finally let go a year ago." Some people in the comments then asked her if she would ever come back for an All-Stars like Canada vs. the World Season 2. And Eve replied to them saying, "It's more like I'm distancing myself from something that was not a good presence in my life anymore. I can't say I'll never do drag again because it was an art form that I loved, but I know I never want to go backwards." She also clarified that drag absolutely helped her realise everything that she did not want to be. And as I mentioned earlier, Eve deleted her X account and has since created a new account under a different name, but she doesn't seem to post much about drag. So it looks like Eve has quit drag and is likely focusing on her transition, and we'll have to wait and see if she ever returns to drag in the future. Crystal Versace. Crystal Versace competed on Drag Race UK Season 3 and was the winner of the season. According to the Guinness World Records, Crystal is the youngest winner on Drag Race, as she was 20 years and 46 days old when she won her season. I believe when they filmed her season, Crystal was 19, but usually the show is filmed a year or so before it airs and then the winner is announced, so that's why she was 20 by the time she was announced as the winner. And the title of the youngest winner of Drag Race had previously been held by Aquaria, who was 21 when she won season 10 of Drag Race US. Since Crystal's season, she's been involved in multiple projects, such as having her own show on BBC called Keeping Up with Crystal Versace. She also started a podcast called The Girls, which she co-hosts with her drag sister and UK Season 5 contestant Dee Licious, as well as another drag performer named La Belle. However, it seems Crystal may be taking a break from drag. In October 2024, Crystal, whose name out of drag is Luke, posted an Instagram story which said, "Just wanted to be transparent with you all on here. I'm taking a little break. This year has been intense for me in many ways, and I've experienced a lot of burnouts. Society doesn't encourage you about looking after your mental health. In fact, it encourages the opposite, especially in my industry. So without getting into too much detail at the moment, I want to be open about Crystal's presence as I'm choosing to work on Luke's. I want to start to love what I do best again, so all you beautiful people can love it with me. I'm constantly amazed by the love I receive from you all and from all the new people that come across my art, and I'm forever grateful to have people that love what I present as much as I love creating it. I will be back in good time when I feel I'm ready to put energy back into Crystal, but as of now, I just need a little moment to catch my breath. Love you all." And since Crystal posted this Instagram story, she hasn't posted any new posts on Instagram, which as of time of recording this has been about a month or so. However, on their podcast, The Girls, on YouTube, in the most recent video from the 11th of November, Crystal talked about her decision to take a break from drag. She said that she is working on becoming more of an influential figure on social media, and working as a content creator is more of her priority at the moment in terms of where she wants to take her drag. And she wants to take some time out to focus on herself and her mental health so that she can be a bit stronger. And so from what Crystal has said, this seems like it will just be a temporary break from drag, and perhaps in the new year she'll be starting drag again, although this isn't confirmed. But for the time being, she's just going to focus on herself, so we'll have to see when she starts doing drag again. La Grande Dame. La Grande Dame competed on Drag Race France Season 1 and placed runner-up. She then returned to All Stars as part of UK vs the World Season 2, where she placed 3rd/4th. La Grande Dame was popular on her original season, and she was the most followed contestant on social media prior to the season airing, with around 100,000 Instagram followers at the time. And since appearing on UK vs the World, she gained even more followers, and she now has over 500,000 followers on Instagram. However, very recently, fans have started to wonder if La Grande Dame is quitting drag. In November 2024, she wiped her entire Instagram account of all photos, including her profile photo, and the only photos that were left were photos of her out of drag, which are part of the promotion of her new song or album called Parfum Orange, which came out earlier today at time of recording this. In the second Instagram post, which was posted on the 11th of November, it said, "Releasing my music feels like welcoming you into my past like never before, into my reality more than ever, but even more significantly into what's ahead. This is a complete undressing, for you, for me. I could not do it without the blessing in my life that you guys are." The only other things that La Grande Dame was posting about in her Instagram stories were memes about the colour orange, presumably in reference to the name of her song/album. And in the comments, fans were speculating whether this means that La Grande Dame has quit drag and will be focusing on music instead. Or they wondered whether she had just wiped her Instagram as part of promotion for her music, and she may reinstate the photos later on. But so far, I can't see anywhere where La Grande Dame has addressed or officially confirmed whether she has quit drag or just taking a break. And so we'll have to wait and see if she posts any more updates about this in the future, especially now that her music is out. So there you go, there were 32 queens from RuPaul's Drag Race who either quit drag or have taken a break from drag. Did any of the queens on this list surprise you? And which of these queens would you like to see return to drag in the future? Let me know in the comments. If you'd like to get exclusive benefits such as early access to my videos and having your comment featured in my Have Your Say videos as well as many other benefits, please consider signing up to my Patreon. It just costs a few dollars a month, it really supports my channel and is such a huge lifeline to me and my channel, so please consider, and I'll put a link in the description. And I would just like to say thank you so much to my Patreon members. Your support is truly incredible. I am so humbled and so appreciative of all of your support. I really love seeing you have your say comments. I really love this community that I've built on Patreon. So thank you all so much for supporting me. It really does mean more than you know. If you liked this video, please make sure you like and comment on the video because it really helps boost the algorithm and tell YouTube to promote this to other people. And please make sure you subscribe because it really makes a huge difference to my channel. So hit that subscribe button now. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you'll join me again for some future videos. Thank you, bye!